If you are a high-ticket B2B business owner or marketer that wants to grow your revenue, reach more people, impact more lives, solve branding and lead gen for good, then this is for you. This is the same playbook that we have used here at GHA Marketing to launch and grow 107 B2B podcasts to date, to build a brand and a lead gen system that actually drives B2B business growth for B2B businesses. So this is 3 years of work, knowledge, learning, mistakes, lessons of doing this every single day and implementing it in B2B businesses. My name is Guillaume. I'm the co-founder of GHA Marketing, and I'm just here to give you a quick overview of the free download that we have created called B2B Podcasting Secrets, where we break down the whole playbook of how we build brands and solve lead gen for good for B2B businesses like clockwork. You can access that playbook by clicking the link in the description. It is 100% free. All right, let's get into it. So this book is composed of 8 sections plus one. It has, as you will see, written visuals, video content to hit the different brain centers and for you to be able to retain that information better. It also has case studies to show you exactly how we've implemented that with real B2B businesses. And my recommendation is to actually consume video and written at the same time so that you can retain information much better. So let's break it down. Section number 1, and by the way, there's going to be a video for each of the sections that's going to go much more in detail and break down everything highlighted. This is just a presentation, but if you want the whole thing, you can watch this series of videos. So section 1, irresistible positioning. Every time we started a B2B podcast or even relaunched a B2B podcast, we start with the foundation, which is who is it that we are targeting? What do we want to be recognized for? Like, what is the brand standing for in the ocean of the industry that we are targeting? And how to make sure that anybody who we want to get in touch with, either through a guest or the audience directly, who is it that we want to target specifically, and how to make sure that we stand out in front of them? Basically, how do we make sure that once they enter our ecosystem, it is obvious that this has been handmade for them? This is really what we want to craft here. So we explain everything in this section. As you can see, there are checklists, bullet points, actual links towards different case studies and resources, and visuals in there to make sure that you understand exactly how we do this, as well as examples and of course a case study. Section number 2 is how to get your first guest. So that's probably one of the main questions I get when I talk to B2B business owners who are thinking about starting a podcast. Like, I'm not even sure my ICP or my potential clients want to go on a podcast, let alone listen to a podcast. So how we go about that? We are yet to find an industry. We are not able to get guests, even though the podcast is not existing yet. And we describe exactly how to do that in section number 2, and how to then leverage those first guests to get more guests to come on the show and more ICP. So everything is highlighted in here, and how to make it work, how to leverage social proof. We actually have a copy of the email that we use. You can just take it and implement it and get going on your site. Obviously, a case study as well. Section number 3 is guest outreach and booking. So once you have secured your first few guests, how to actually do this at scale consistently, and how to get 1, 2, 3, 4 potential clients and guests to book a time in your calendar each and every week like clockwork. The tools we use, the processes that we have, the different systems that we've implemented to make this work as efficiently as possible, where a human is needed, especially for personalization, how to leverage social proof, and how to get crazy positive reply rates, like outperforming completely traditional cold outreach, and how to get people to secure that spot in your calendar. Everything is broken down in section number 3. Section number 4 is pre-interview call and interview. So everything that leads up to the pre-interview call, what to do, how to prepare, how to lead that pre-interview call to make sure that you are the most efficient, build rapport, discuss the interview structure, and plan for success together with the guest, and whilst potentially identifying some gaps, how to lead towards the interview, how to lead the interview as well, and the important things to keep in mind when actually doing this interview, and going into the off-air debrief that's going to lead potentially to a business relationship, and if not, at least referral relationship. Everything is explained in here. Again, lots of visuals, some checklists, some sentences, and actual examples of what we say in our pre-interview calls to maximize the impact of our podcast and some examples as well, and of course, case studies. Off-air debrief is one of the most important aspects of this whole playbook. Once you've given all the value, recorded the episodes, spent a good time, put the spotlight on the guest, what happens then and how do you transform this relationship that is based mainly on content for now into a, hey, how can we potentially work together? And if not, how do we transform this relationship into a, hey, how can we do more together by exchanging business cards or sending people to each other? Everything is explained in here and how to do it, what to say step by step with an actual proposed script and numbers that you should bear in mind. So how to know if this thing is working for you or not and what to tweak if it isn't. Then we get into section 6, which is the post-interview nurture, depending on different scenarios. So either you've booked a call, a free consult, a potential sales call even, or you haven't, what to do in each case, how we go about nurturing leads. This is where, quite frankly, most B2B businesses drop the ball, whether that is with the podcast or any other lead gen channel and acquisition channel. People don't nurture their leads, and this is actually where most of the selling happens, when you're not trying to convince the person to buy from you, but to actually showcase them proof, authority, build trust with different informations and touch points that you can have with them. So we break down everything in that section of what we do, what we send, and how we do it in between calls to build further that relationship with the guest who is now a prospect, and what to do to show them that you can actually help them solve their biggest problems. So same thing here, quite some visuals, a whole checklist, what to do, how to do it, some options as well, depending on what you've built up so far, especially with VSLs and so on and so forth. Section 9 is the seamless conversion flow, or how to structure the 30-minute free consult that you've booked from the interview, how to leverage that to lead to a close call, where you potentially co-build the solution with a whiteboard example, what to do, how to say it. The objective of this section, as I say in the more like deeper video on this particular one, is this is not going to transform you into a 0.1% top closer in B2B, but this should give you the tools to make sales motion so good that you don't need to be great at sales to actually close deals, including with enterprise level deals. So everything is broken down here, and I explain how I do it with my own process and GHA Marketing specifically, and how I train my team to do that. So 30 minutes free consult, first close call, and what to do in between. Everything is in there. Obviously, we are in B2B, sales cycles can be long, so it won't always take only 2 calls, but how to lead and build up to that so that you maximize your chances of closing deals. There is a little bonus in here. There's going to be a video displayed here breaking down the closer framework by Alex Hormozy and how we've tweaked it and adapted it for B2B specifically. What's interesting is that, so he typically would do this in 1 call, and I just explained the framework within the context of B2B, where you have like multiple touch points, multiple sales calls, and where potentially it takes a few weeks to close a deal, but how to structure this and how we think about B2B closing with the closer framework. Section 8 is effortless consistency and repurposing. So this is taking the whole podcast to the next level. We must bear in mind that the whole idea of a B2B podcast is to build a brand so that people are drawn to you, people are seeing you as an authority even before getting into a call with you. They've already gotten some help from you so that when they get into a call, they're already convinced, and it's just discussing the logistics. This is what happens after building a brand for a long time. And what we want to make sure is that once you ramp up to that, you also close deals by building relationships with people in your industry. Section 8 starts to tackle what happens like after a few months, a few quarters, potentially even a few years, and how to build that brand much, much faster and be much more efficient with your podcast. There is a concept here that is the podcast content waterfall. So out of a 45-minute conversation, how you can have a complete content strategy and execution if done properly. So we break down, you can see the visual here. We explain exactly how to do it, why you should absolutely do it, the best way to grow your podcast as well, and how to get your guest, therefore your ICPs, your potential clients, to talk about you and your company and how to structure that exactly. We give examples and how to do it. It's pretty efficient. At the moment I'm recording this video, we got over the last 2 months about 42 people to talk about our company thanks to our podcast on LinkedIn directly, tagging us and saying how amazing of a time they had with us. So we break down how you can actually do the same and how to get your ICPs to talk about you instead of you talking about yourself. You just do the fun part. So we have a quick section on how to actually do all of this, because we have to admit it that it takes a lot of either time or energy or resources, money. So different options, how to almost completely automate it and leverage AI tools that we have at our disposal right now. We don't have an affiliate partnership with any of the tools mentioned in there. It's just tools that we have used ourselves or even keep on using right now, and how you can leverage them as well. How to find an EA/VA/offshore podcast assistant to help you out with this. And if you want to go the very next level, how to find and select a podcast agency, what to be conscious of and what to be careful about, with one of our best case studies as well. Section 9 is how to transform the audience into clients and some next ultimate podcasting levels. So this is a bit the bonus section. I wouldn't recommend implementing all of these in the first few months of your podcast. You should really focus on having great conversations, repurposing the content and leveraging the relationships you build with the guests. But once you start like ticking those boxes, how to transform the audience into clients as well. Once you start building a loyal audience of listeners and viewers with all the contents, you're going to start getting invited to speaking events as well. When you have a leading podcast in an industry, because you've built an audience, showcased expertise, and already showcased speaking skills. So conferences organizers typically want to be part of this. So you get invited to speak at events, or at least come at events for free. How to leverage all this, how to make the most out of it with examples of how our clients do it as well. And the ultimate level with B2B sponsors. Again, this is something that I would only look into once you're fully up to speed on all the previous sections. And once you become supply constraints, this is something we discuss in the playbook and in the videos as well. Very detailed here if you want to see all the potential of a B2B podcast, and with one of the craziest case studies that we have and how those two guys have actually done it themselves. And of course, there is a little call to actions and so on at the end, but I'll let you go through that if you want. It's basically how to take all the knowledge in the playbook and implement it much, much faster. So that's pretty much it. And at the very end, you have some additional resources. So start with the playbook. This is like a complete breakdown of everything we do. But if you want to find out more, there is also the podcast, a community that we have, the YouTube channel, and LinkedIn as well. That's pretty much it. So that's the overview. Enjoy. There is a lot in here. So the most important is to actually implement step by step the things that we recommend doing. Do not consume it all in one go. Although if you want to have a good understanding of like how it works, you can. And yeah, you can download it for free. It's in the description. Of course, if you like this, let us know. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the future videos, and enjoy. Cheers.